parenting classes, working with teachers around how to provide more meaningful discipline and a role in school so it becomes more child-centered, doing some family counseling, taking some time to just turn off the darn TV and parents sit down and talk. When I work with a child, I spend an hour a week with a child in the office. In the course of a year, I've got roughly 24 hours, which is 2 days, 48 hours, 2 days out of his life. If a parent would spend 10 or 15 minutes, put down a newspaper, sit down, what did you do in school today? How are things going? What do you want to talk about? And listen and validate. They can eliminate a lot of what's taking place. And sometimes they get so caught up in the conflict within the family, they will seek help by going to professionals or trying to sort out, do some family therapy is the most important kind of treatment, not individual treatment. Kids working with families together, letting them learn how to communicate, letting them learn how to resolve conflict one with each other, because that's what a child's going to have to do in the workplace.
Has financial success in America become a curse?
Almost to the extent the affluence is there. We don't see the same kind of mental health problems in poverty areas. They're struggling more with deprivation. We had it so good for so long. Now the people getting laid off, they've never developed some of the resiliency and all of the things that come there. There's going to be deprivation. You don't get it along the way. So we can provide too much. Tim Russ had put it very well once. He says, given who I am, what I can provide for my child, how do I convey to him? It's not an entitlement. You just happen to get it because who I am, your dad. That kids have to earn certain things. And we do that by behavior has consequences. There's feedback. If you do certain things, there are punishments and rewards that come from them. And that comes from being an effective parent, from being able to discipline effectively and let a child know there are rules and there is always going to be stress in your life and frustration and anxiety. It's uncomfortable, but not dangerous. Learn to deal with it. And you build that in because
stress, frustration, and anxiety are going to be there.
That's right.
It's a constant.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. We have to live with a certain amount of discomfort, learn to deal with it, develop some skills to get over it. So I made a mistake. It is not the end of the world. It's not life or death, but by making big deals about every little thing that comes on, we get kids to magnify the extent of the discomfort. It's terrible. It's not terrible. It feels bad at the moment. But your world didn't end. Where do you go on? And every time you can acknowledge and reward a child for the things that he does well, it's like putting money in the bank. It's putting deposits in his self-esteem. You're okay. I want a parent to be the president of my fan club. He thinks I'm the greatest thing that ever happened. He loves me and loves me enough to discipline and take good care of me and nurture me and enhance my sense of worth. If I have some sense of worth, my world doesn't end when I fail.
What's the single thing happening in America with kids that you find most troubling to you personally?
I think when you talk about the affluence, families in the past, we had to adjust. We're going to go to a movie, which movie we go to, which television show we're going to watch. Now each kid has his own television set in his own room, his own computer. They never learn how to resolve conflict. They don't communicate anymore the way they used to because there was only one set. Dad wanted to watch something, Mom wanted to watch something. The two kids each wanted to watch something else. Let's get together and come to an agreement. Now all four can go in and watch their own sets and nobody has to learn how to deal. Then they're going to find out when they get out in the real world later on. So the lack of ability to be able to communicate, the lack to be able to listen and validate what somebody feels. I know how you feel. How are you going to express that feeling? The one thing you never say to somebody, you shouldn't feel that way. I feel, darn it. How do I express that feeling? How do I deal with the feeling, which may be negative, tension, frustration, anxiety?
Is somebody's ability to handle frustration and anxiety negatively impacted by homeschooling?
It can and cannot be. That's one of those, again, not black or white. The world is not black or white. We live in the shades of gray. Some parents can do it and do it effectively. Other parents are so caught up they become intolerant of kids making mistakes and they become afraid to move because parent loses patience at the moment. How did you miss that? You know, we went over that yesterday. We don't always remember what took place yesterday. I didn't make a mistake. It's going to happen. But if a parent can tolerate a kid's muddling through and learning by mistakes and having to repeat, and I did get it right yesterday and I failed today, it's not the end of the world. If a parent can provide that accepting atmosphere, homeschooling can work and work well. If the parent can't because they're so invested in setting standards for how their child is going to achieve, then homeschooling can be destructive. The parent who's constantly putting the typical soccer mom or hockey mom in this culture, putting pressure. You've got to score a goal. Not every kid's going to be on the A line. Not going to score every game.
Do you think that kids today have a well-developed sense of personal creativity in their thinking and their ability to think through solutions? Is that a high point for today's youth or a low point now?
Everybody, based on the basic intelligence, has some creativity in that. But how do you find your creativity? By trying certain things. If I succeed, hey, I'm good at that. If I don't succeed, I can't do that. So I explore and broaden horizons. Where we put all the emphasis on high grades and high achievement and not making mistakes, we stifle the basic innate creativity that's in each of us.
Where can parents access some of the best materials you're aware of on how to be an appropriate parent?
The best tool we got is our gut. Does it feel good? Do we do things that I can back up and stand firm? To begin to learn to fight battles I can win. Parent education courses where a group of parents can say, you do it that way, I do it differently. Both our kids are making it. There's no ultimate way to be able to do it. And that's what frequently winds up when you seek professional help, to open up the fact that not put people in rigid boxes to get them going along with a set path that doesn't fit them. Parents who are much more concerned about orderliness in the household, they read a book, let your child explore. Child touches something, they're so uptight, the kid senses the tension. What have I done? Where's it coming from? My kid has to learn you don't touch much because it disrupts the order. You can feel it in a household. You go to some houses and you move an ashtray on the table from here to there. You can feel the tension till the hostess comes back because that's where it belongs. The tension, we want the child's world to be basically tension-free, parents feeling comfortable to do what's natural to them. And what's natural to you may not make sense in my household. And doing that becomes more important. So parent education courses, opening up the basic permission to make mistakes. That's how we learn. And as parents, we're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes, but if I'm consistent in terms of what I believe, my child inherits my value system. The basic learning is what you've done with your parents when you're growing up, the memories that are built in, that this person cared, the things we did together. All of those are your real memories that sustain you in your adult life. Not how much money your parents left you or how many material things they left you, but what we did together. And I can think about that all my life, and it feeds me and generates things.
This has been absolutely incredible advice from Dr. Goldberg. Thanks for joining us, and thanks to BryLin Hospitals. See you again soon on Medical Matters. For more Medical Matters television shows, go online to medicalmatters.tv.